Hello and welcome to English Pantry News. I'm Afia Jufri. In this edition, we'll present all the latest and interesting information around the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. Commission 4 of the House urges the Ministry of Environment and Forestry to increase the budget for wildlife protection and rehabilitation of protected forests. Commission 4 also calls for public awareness in preserving forest ecosystem.
A member of Commission 4 of the House, RENNY ASTUTI, denounces the action of hunting protected endangered species and the destruction of conservation forest areas. RENNY assesses it is necessary to conduct massive knowledge sharing to the public to prevent damage to flora and fauna habitat in Indonesia. RENNY also asks the government to disclose the data of forest rehabilitation programs and protected wildlife captivity in the country.
Perlindungan satwa liar ini, kemudian mungkin kita bisa hutan-hutan tertentu atau hutan lindung juga tidak semakin dirusak. Karena kita tahu kan saat ini kan juga hutan-hutan kan juga memang sengaja dirusak ya kalau saya bilang ya kayak gitu ya. Ketidaktahuan masyarakat, ketidaktahuan warga kayak gitu. Nah ini juga kita berharap kepada kementerian juga memberikan edukasi kepada masyarakat. Kalau memang ini hutan lindung, hutan itu masyarakat tidak bisa sama sekali merusak hutan di sini. Itu harapan kita.
RENNY ASTUTI pushes for a budget increase for the Directorate General of Ecosystem Natural Resources Conservation Unit to solve conflict related to wild animals with local communities living near its conservation forest, which is triggered by habitat destruction its native species, causing a number of wild animals to often come to resident settlements.
Kami meminta untuk LHK itu menambah anggaran untuk KSDAE untuk mengatasi konflik antara manusia dengan satwa liar ini. Selain itu juga kami minta kepada LHK memberikan hukuman yang seberat-beratnya kepada oknum yang memang membunuh minat satwa-satwa liar ini. Apalagi satwa-satwa itu termasuk satwa-satwa yang langka yang dilindungi.
Hunting endangered animals still happen in Indonesia. Recently, a dead elephant was found without its head in palm plantation area in East Aceh has shocked the locals. The organs of these hunted animals are allegedly being traded illegally. Amita and Zia, TVR Parliament, report.
The State Capital Injection or PMN given to the state-owned banks, the BTN and the BNI, and state-owned agribusiness company, the RNI, is expected will be able to boost the national economy recovery, especially for enterprises affected by COVID-19 to be able to increase production and gain profit to contribute to the state revenue.
A member of Commission 6, MUFTI ANAM, says PMN injections for BNI, BTN, and PTNRI is a stimulus for a betterment of these SOE's financial conditions which affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. MUFTI says the injections for BTN has to be able to assess credit for new growing estate developers. Moreover, the micro and middle enterprise should be in priority to be given the stimulus so the local economy can rebound.
Bagaimana PMN ini untuk bisa turut menjadi instrumen untuk pemulihan ekonomi nasional. Contohnya apa? Melalui BTN, yaitu untuk penyaluran kredit ke pengembang-pengembang perumahan yang hari ini sudah mulai tumbuh, sudah mulai banyak permintaan di tengah masyarakat untuk bagaimana ketersediaan rumah-rumah terjangkau.
Other member of Commission 6, ROSIADE, says the PMN injections must give benefits and also profits for the state. ROSIADE illustrates the PMN for PT RNI is expected to help the SOEs in establishing salt factories with high technology to be able to meet local demand and curb the imported salt in the domestic market.
PMN ini dipakai untuk meningkatkan kemampuan PT Garam. Kita bangun pabrik garam dengan berteknologi tinggi sehingga seluruh konsumsi garam industri itu bisa dipenuhi oleh PT Garam.
Hilman Hidayat and Teguh, TVR Parliament, report.
Commission 3 of the House appreciate the Bali Regional Police efforts in handling COVID-19. The COVID-19 cases has been decreasing significantly throughout the Dewata Island since police have been participating in enforcing the health protocols.
Speaking in the working visit to Bali Province, Vice Chairperson of Commission 3 AHMAD SAHRONI says Bali Regional Police have been handling it well, shown by the decreasing cases of COVID-19 cases. However, he reminds even though the number is significant, Bali Regional Police still needs to ensure safe protocols to be implemented to prevent COVID-19 case spike. He adds, COVID-19 handling in Bali is crucial, since Bali is one of the main tourism destinations in Indonesia, thus affected to overall national economy recovery.
Dan alhamdulillah nasional di Indonesia juga sangatlah berkurang, tapi lagi-lagi kita karena Bali adalah tempat pariwisata sentralnya yang akan nanti menjadi pemulihan ekonomi, kita fokus pada pengawasan yang cukup dan itu Kapolda lakukan dengan baik.
A member of Commission 3 of the House, ADDE ROSI, appreciates the overall supervision of Economy Recovery Fund that has been carried out well by the Bali Police. ADDE ROSI reminds the Bali Chief Police to anticipate COVID-19 cases as it might get increased after the government has easing the restrictions level in Java, Bali by strengthening every regional police units in Bali.
Dengan tingginya masyarakat dari luar Bali yang datang ke Bali, ini akan menimbulkan tadi travel revenge ya, balas dendam liburan, balas dendam. Nah ini juga yang harus menjadi antisipasi dari Pak Kapolda, jangan sampai terjadi peningkatan kembali kasus, sehingga ya tadi Pak Kapolda terus bersama-sama dengan seluruh jajaran membuat satker-satker.
From Bali Province, Fitian Aunilah, TVR Parlemen, reports.
The Special Committee on Continental Shelf Bill of the House receives input from academics related to the problem inventory list on the Continental Shelf Bill. Through this bill, the committee expects Indonesian sovereignty over nation sea territory can be upheld.
Speaking in the House Building Senayan, Jakarta, Vice Chairperson of Continental Shelf Bill Special Committee, Taufik Basari says, this committee is listening inputs from international law experts to refine the problem inventory list and the academics draft bill and also avoid any potential conflict from the bill. He asserts this bill aims to uphold law in Indonesia's sea territories and protect Indonesia's ocean wealth.
Karena di hukum internasional terkait dengan pengaturan mengenai laut itu ada UN Clause tahun 1982. Di mana kalau kita membuat satu undang-undang yang bertentangan atau tidak sesuai dengan UN Clause tahun 1982 itu, maka akan punya potensi untuk dipermasalahkan secara internasional.
A member of Continental Shelf Bill Special Committee, Andi Yuliani Paris, adds the country's sovereignty is reflected in its law enforcement efforts. Thus, she calls for a clearer responsibility of stakeholders related to law enforcement in sea territory throughout the country.
Nah tentunya kalau kewenangannya jelas, pengaturannya jelas, tentunya eksploitasi oleh pihak-pihak asing itu harus tunduk pada undang-undang yang kita akan atur, kewenangan penegakan hukum, ya, manajemen pengelolaan lingkungan hidup, manajemen pengelolaan sumber daya alam, kemudian batas wilayah di dalam rancangan undang-undang ini.
Amita and Dodi, TVR Parlemen, report.
Following the new variants of COVID-19 that have been detected in several countries, Commission 9 of the House demands the government to prepare for several anticipated scenarios to prevent imported cases entering the country.
Speaking in Nusantara 1 Building, Jakarta, members of Commission 9 Darul Siska demands the government to tighten the entry points such as airports, ports, and ground crossings. The government must not neglect and repeat the same mistake that results in second wave of COVID-19 outbreak because of lack of strict screening and the Delta variant.
Kan dulu kita kecolongannya di situ tuh. Vaksin varian itu kita masuknya justru dari laut, dari anak kapal yang dari India, terus masuk di Cilacap kan. Semua pintu-pintu masuk itu termonitor orang yang datang maupun yang akan pergi.
A member of Commission 9 Saleh Partaunan calls for stricter health protocols even when they have received the complete dose of vaccine. He assessed, regardless of which vaccine brands it is, still has to be followed by a strict health guidelines to prevent the COVID-19 virus transmission.
Apapun ceritanya, secanggih apapun pengobatannya, kemudian secanggih apapun vaksin yang diberikan, dia tetap membutuhkan protokol kesehatan. Protokol kesehatan itu mulai dari memakai masker, cuci tangan, jaga jarak, menghindari kerumunan keramaian, kemudian mengurangi mobilitas.
Recently, researchers have found another new variant, the C1.2 variant in South Africa, following the previous mutation, the Lambda and MU variant, which is categorized as variants of interest by the World Health Organization. Teresia and Bani, TVR Parlemen, reports.
Commission 10 of the House appreciate the preparation that have been well carried out for the 20th Papua National Sport Week, or PON. The event that will be held on October 2021 is expected to run smoothly and securely protected.
In Nusantara 1 building, Vice Chairperson of Commission 10, Abdul Fikri demands secured protection by security officer in cities and regencies where the 20th PON will hold. Lukas NMB Stadium, formerly known as Papua Bangkit Stadium, is ready for the opening and closing celebration.
Pemerintah Provinsi Papua mestinya sanggup, tapi kan ini PON ya, multi event yang dilaksanakan oleh pemerintah pusat, leading sektornya Kemenpora.
Abdul Fikri adds, other thing that has been a concern is that the events will continue without spectators attending the arena due to the high risk of COVID-19 infection. Spectators that will attending the venue are required to be fully vaccinated.
Betapa masyarakat sana sudah antusias karena Olimpiade aja tanpa penonton kan. Nah, ini kemudian sementara Presiden memberikan syarat satu saja, yaitu vaksin.
Oki and Julian, TVR Parlemen, reports.
Commission 10 asserts the 2020 Ministry of Youth and Sports budget that have been allocated around 1.9 trillion rupiah needs to be re-evaluated and revised. The additional budget is needed to increase Indonesian athlete competitiveness and develop the youth sector.
Speaking after attending a meeting with the Ministry of Sport and Youth, a member of Commission 10, Eliza Saaduddin Jamal says, the Ministry of Sport and Youth performance in implementing bureaucracy reform and realizing the 2021 work targets is deemed to be quite successful. She hopes the Ministry of Finance will allocate more budget to support nation's sports sectors and youth.
Ke depan ada penambahan anggaran berdasarkan kinerja yang telah dilakukan oleh Kemenpora. Komitmen kerja keras untuk membangun reformasi birokrasi yang telah sukses, bisa mendapatkan WTP, dan kemudian juga komitmen di dalam membangun prestasi olahraga yang sudah dibuktikan dengan keberhasilan di Olimpik dan Paralimpik beberapa waktu yang lalu.
Eliza adds, the athletes' development by the Ministry of Sports and Youth is very much successful, proven by the achievement of Indonesian athletes in the international level, like SEA Games, Asian Games, and the Olympics. She hopes, with the additional budgets, President's vision for a golden and competitive generations can be achieved.
Dorongan yang kuat untuk memajukan para cabang olahraga, terutama olahraga berprestasi, dan juga diikuti dengan program untuk kepemudaan. Insya Allah apa yang dicita-citakan oleh Presiden Jokowi tentang pembangunan SDM pemuda dari sisi olahraga itu akan terwujud.
Mario Hasiholan, TVR Parlemen, reports.
A member of Commission 10 of the House supports an increase of assistance for tourism agencies and creative economy actors amidst the COVID-19 pandemic to support the economic recovery and minimize layoffs wave in the tourism sector.
Speaking in Nusantara 1 building, my Esti Wijayati says government has provided assistance for the local tourism and creative economy actors. However, the realization of the assistance target must be supervised through complete and accurate data availability in every regions. By doing so, economic stability in tourism sector is expected to grow the local economy and rebound back the local creativity economy and the SMEs.
Ada berapa pelaku ekonomi kreatif, bidangnya apa saja, ada berapa pengusaha-pengusaha di bidang pariwisata, di mana saja. Ketika itu jelas, program-program yang akan diberikan juga nanti akan tepat sasaran.
Member of Commission 10 of the House, Eliza Saaduddin hopes the additional regional fund for the local tourism sector can live up and develop local tourism sector, so it could attract more tourists while still following the safety guidelines set by the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy.
DAK yang diterima oleh kepariwisataan ini kecil sekali. mengingat bahwasanya ada 5 super prioritas yang diutamakan, yang anggarannya ya terus bergulir dan diperhatikan.
The government has prepared assistance funds for the local tourism sectors, amounting up to 2.4 trillion rupiah. The Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy also has been massively campaigning the health and safety protocols based on clean lines, health, safety, and environment sustainability, or the CHSE. Ajib and Rifki, TVR Parlemen, report.
And that rounds up this edition of English Pantry News. On behalf of all the crew of Parliament, we would like to thank you for your attention. We'll meet again in the next edition of English Pantry News. From me, Afia Jufri. Once again, thanks for watching and goodbye.